Hey, what's going on? It's Troy coming at you from thenaturalcouple.com, and today, right here, I'm going to go over a couple of quick tips on what you should include in your inflammatory diet and a couple of quick tips on what you should not include in your diet. But before I get to that, think about this. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, there are millions and millions of people walking around in our society today that have high levels or chronic levels of inflammation in their body. And that's extremely disturbing because what emerging science is finding today is that a lot of different diseases that we see in our society today are being tracked back to first having high levels of inflammation. So think cancer or high blood pressure or high cholesterol or Alzheimer's disease. All right, so you want to make sure that you keep your inflammation levels low, obviously, if you want to start avoiding different diseases. Makes sense, right? But unfortunately, there are just millions upon millions of people that are walking around today in a pro-inflammatory state. And maybe you're one of them. Maybe you're watching this and you're looking for good advice on how to lower inflammation in your body. The truth is that it's probably not been one or two foods that have raised your inflammation levels in your body. It's probably a variety of foods that you've eaten over the course of weeks or months or years which have raised inflammation in your body. Now, my story is kind of similar to this because, there was a time when I wasn't the healthiest person. I went to my doctor just for a routine physical, and it was found that I had extremely high levels of blood pressure. So, of course, blood pressure means that I had high levels of inflammation in my body first. And, of course, at that time, I thought I was eating pretty healthy. But it turns out that I really wasn't. So I had to change my perspective on my diet. I had to change my outlook on exactly what I need to do in order to change my inflammation, which then, of course, in turn would change my blood pressure numbers. So in general, people will always say, hey, you know what, just eat a variety of foods and you'll be okay. Or just eat fresh foods, or just decrease the amount of fast food that you eat, or just eat lots of fruits and vegetables and you'll be all right, okay? Again, very vague, it's okay advice, but it's not specific enough. Look, if you're looking to lower levels of inflammation in your body, you have to start eating on purpose. You can't eat by accident. You got to start eating on purpose. So a couple of quick tips on what you should not include in your inflammatory diet. Two quick things, really. You want to make sure you eliminate sugar, and you also want to make sure you eliminate refined carbohydrates. For sugar, think about this. The average person today in our society eats almost somewhere between 160 to 200 pounds of sugar every single year. That's insane, right? It's crazy to think about. My mind can't even comprehend that many pounds of sugar. But the truth is that our bodies were just not equipped to deal and to handle and process that much sugar every single year. It just goes against nature, all right? And the second thing with refined carbohydrates, think, like white bread, for example, or white rice or soda or French fries. Again, our bodies are just not designed to process the amount of refined carbohydrates that we take in and ingest on a daily basis. Now, what happens when you have excess amounts of sugar and you have excess amounts of refined carbohydrates that are being ingested into your body every single week is that it raises certain inflammatory messengers, which are called cytokines. So, of course, when you have increased levels of inflammatory messengers, right, with these cytokines, your natural body's inflammation levels begin to rise. And if you continually eat the same foods week in and week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, okay, guess what? Your inflammation levels never come down. And that's what emerging science is saying. Hey, if you have high levels of inflammation, you can have a disease, a very serious disease, okay? So what you eat really does play a huge part in your overall health, especially for the long term. So start being mindful of the sugar that you consume and the refined carbohydrates that you consume. Now, a couple of quick tips on what I suggest you should include in your inflammatory diet. Again, two quick things. You want to make sure you have a diet that is rich in antioxidants and rich in polyphenols. Now you say, Troy, what are polyphenols? Polyphenols are simply protective plant compounds. So when you walk into your produce section of your supermarket and you see like the bright, vibrant colors of the fruits and vegetables, or even the dark hues, like you find in blueberries, like blueberries have that dark purplish blue color, okay? Those are polyphenols. And when you consume those vegetables and those fruits, you're also ingesting those polyphenols. Antioxidants, polyphenols, are known to decrease levels of inflammation. Very important, okay? So a couple of quick foods that I highly recommend you start incorporating into your diet today would be tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, especially almonds and walnuts, fatty fish, okay, so think salmon or mackerel or tuna, and last but not least, fruits. But you have to be specific with your fruits. I would recommend berries, for example, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, or cherries, and then I'd also recommend oranges as well. All right, so again, very, very simple. These 6 foods you can easily start including and incorporating into your diet today. But again, you got to start taking measured steps today in order to start naturally lowering your inflammation levels. Now, what I want you to do right now is to click the link below to download our instant video training, which is going to give you instant access to our top 3 foods that can help you start lowering inflammation as early as today. How cool is that? Just by eating these foods, you can start lowering inflammation levels in your body today. So I'll see you over there. Click the link right now.